You know what kind of old ass food and nastiness you probably just put in your fucking mouth.
I shampoo my beard, so it's clean.
When mine was long during like November and December and stuff like that, when it was a little bit longer and more full, I did shampoo it when I took a shower, shampoo and conditioner, and rubbed it in.
Because your skin will get all real dry under there.
I mean, I'm black, so my shit get ashy.
Yeah, which is basically dry.
Yeah, but I mean, mine is visible.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, like I work with white people now, so like I see the difference. Like they be talking about their skin being dry, and I'm like, look at my legs, lady. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like that type of thing. Like, what are you talking about? Like my legs look like I just dusted them with some sort of powder. Like that's what happens. Like it happens to me at work all the time. All right, fuck it. I think we're just gonna keep that. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Scarfinger, and this is Sarcasm Live.
This is Scarcasm Live. Dermatology.
Chase is in the building.
I am in the building.
Chase is in the building.
I'm in a building.
He moisturizes.
I do moisturize.
He moisturizes his beard.
And my hair, and you gotta keep the foliage of your foliage. You gotta keep your skin foliated.
Your follicles?
Yeah. You gotta keep your foliage. Yeah.
You use a loofah?
I do use a loofah.
No, I don't know about no loofah. I do. I mean, okay, I had a conversation on the Dream Team. We were talking about taking a shower. And like I told them the truth. Like whenever I take a shower, I wash my whole body 3 times.
Uh-huh.
And I use 3 different devices, you could say, in order to wash myself.
Uh-huh.
So I use one of those little like poof balls.
Yeah, that's what I call a loofah. So that's what I use.
No, that's not a loofah. The loofah is the shit that, you know, is what that was like representing. But a loofah is like the sponge type.
Yeah, yeah, I know what that like an old loofah is, but the sponge balls are like the modern.
No, it's just a poof ball. It's just a poof ball. Damn it, we call that a poof ball.
It says loofah on the tag when you buy it.
No, that shit just says fucking shower ball or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know what the fuck it says. I never looked at the tag on this shit. Why would I look at the fucking tag on this shit?
When you're buying it, to make sure that
I only look at the price. And, you know, like, why would I look at anything else other than the price? Like, I already know what it is. I know what it does. I know its purpose. So why the fuck would I look at anything else? Like, you know what I mean? That's like walking into like the aisle to buy like some flour, but you have to make sure it says flour on the pack. Like, you know what fucking flour looks like, dog. Like,
yeah,
just get the size that works for you. It's fucking flour. It's like, oh no, I need cake flour for this one, not all-purpose flour. I need self-rising flour. No, fuck it, it's flour. Like, it's just fucking flour, dude. Like, that's how I feel.
Well, when there's certain things you don't want to use self-rising for, like gravy.
Come on, man. So, tell me that self-rising gravy wouldn't be awesome.
I don't know. But yeah, the first time I ever used one of those, I mean, I was like in middle school or something, and back in the day, it was just a wash rag and a bar of soap. It was like you had to work to get like lathered up. Like getting lathered up, like, oh, I found this soap that lathers up pretty good, and it's like some bubbles. But you just squirt that stuff, get it all, and it's like lather for days. You're in like a bubble bath of soap. So you're muted.
Okay, so here's the thing that I just figured out, and this is what, if we use my part of this recording, I just figured this out. If I mute my mic here, it doesn't actually mute my mic in the OBS recording.
Right, so I mute whenever I have to get up. I don't mute over here for you, right? So if I'm muted, you can probably hear things in the background, but it's not going to get on the OBS. And plus, you might hear some things that don't get on there anyway because I got a noise gate. But I mute OBS if I'm going to be doing something or talking to somebody. even though you guys hear it
I
and
had to
they
stop
won't.
using. I had to stop using my little noise gate software, my voice meter, because it just makes me sound like really fucked up. And unless I'm recording with someone that's telling me that it sounds fucked up right now, I can't do anything about it. Like,
I
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I just use the
I
noise gate in
can't.
OBS. That's all I use.
No, I don't think I ever used that in OBS. But all right. So I guess the show started.
Yeah.
We have a show.
This is a thing called a podcast. It's kind of like a radio show, but no one gives a shit about it.
Right. You know, like having to explain, like I had to explain again today that, like, okay, so here's the thing. For Black people, there's this thing, and it's the thing where you're in like a workplace or something like that. There's a thing that we call code switching.
Uh huh.
To whereas I am not the same person when I'm at work. I'm still me, but I'm a different version of myself.
I mean, it's the same
You know
thing
what
with
I'm saying?
everybody, dude. Because like,
No, because some of my coworkers are 100% themselves. But like, like I wear collared shirts every day, even though I don't really have to. And like, I don't talk as much at work as I talk here. Like a few weeks ago, I was talking to my coworker about podcasting, and I showed him one of the videos from Facetious because I figured Facetious would be safe enough for them to listen to.
yeah.
Because I don't really talk about them that much there. so I figured that was safe enough. So they listened to it, and they were like, "That's as much as I've heard you talk." Other than like when I'm on the phone and stuff like that, they said that's as much I've ever heard you say.
Yeah, because it's crazy. Like you said, you don't really talk that much when you're actually out in public and like around people. But then people will listen to the show and be like, "Man, that Scar guy never lets you talk. He always talks."
I think part of it is like trying to keep the show going, and then part of it is trying to talk over you talking about a whole bunch of anime shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, we have a lot of listeners that want to hear me. They want to see me blossom, and you're being
didn't start your own anime version of the podcast. You holler at your boy Mach 20. Y'all record a show. Edit it, send it to me. I'll put it up. It could be all about all the fucking anime and shit y'all ever want.
Then what we should do is have someone write an anime that stars me and you, and we're out like fucking shit up.
Fuck no. I have recorded lines for an upcoming audio drama, and like I had to like go in and the homie Jay from the Dream Team, he wrote an audio drama, and I am on episode 4.
Nice.
I don't know how much I can say, but technically I'm a ghost. And then like I had to go in and I had to record, like he recorded like all of the lines for that episode except for my line.
I mean,
but like I had to go for each line. I had to go into Audacity and say episode 4, line 87, line save. Like I had to do that for each fucking line. And sometimes I did like alternate takes. I was like take 2, and then I said it a different way, just in case he wanted to use it. I started to get into it a little bit later, but that is a fucking intense process, like having to record it like that. When I was recording with Rashani for Sin and Solace, Sin and Solace, it's all pretty much recorded on Skype. Or it was at the time, except for like if someone had to, if he couldn't talk directly to somebody, he would have them record their lines and send them in. Sin and Solace is great. People should listen to that. But I don't have a prominent feature in Sin and Solace. I play you know, one of a group of dudes that got shot up in an elevator. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was, I kind of helped with the direction with one episode. That episode that I'm on, you know, we were all on Skype, and I kind of assisted with the direction. Actually, I was assisting with the direction of Double A.
Huh.
Yeah, and you know, like there was an episode where he played a character that got shot, and then he said the line normal, and I'm like, no, you do realize you just got shot. You wouldn't be saying this in a normal tone of voice. You would be fucking pissed, in pain, or both, because you just got shot. Like, you know, that type of stuff. I didn't really do a whole lot, but you know, I just kind of helped out where I could because I was there that day. But,
I mean, we can do some stuff here. Like, we can do some audio magic. I mean,
I don't want to.
I mean,
it's too much. It's too much work. And Jay is trying to.
I mean, right now we can just. Right now we're in a dream sequence. Like, you're in a dream and I am a dream. This is a dream sequence.
No, dream needs nuts. I'm not fucking doing this, dog. Like, no.
So the dream sequence is over?
I did, however, try to create a character for Sin and Solace.
Uh-huh.
He got writer's block at one point, so I came up with a whole fucking storyline. I was like, we should do this. And I created my own character and all this other shit. And he was just like, yeah, no. I'm like, damn, dog. I was really trying to get on. But like, hopefully, there's going to be a remastered version of Sin and Solace at some point, and I am going to be Solace.
Nice.
Because Rashani recorded both of voices at the same time and just pitched up one of them. But since I have a higher pitched voice anyway, like, might as well just let me do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that may happen in the future. But
I tried to do some audio drama stuff way back in the day before podcasts was. I guess podcasts were a thing, but this was like 2005 or so. We didn't really know where to upload it. We started like a zombie one, and it was in the style of like old radio shows, but and that was before YouTube and stuff, and because me and my buddies used to, because that's actually kind of what I was trying to go to school for, is like video editing and stuff. So my senior project was a movie, and then like a short film, and then me and Max, we did a bunch of short films and stuff. I don't know if I ever sent you our short films, did I?
It's possible that it might have been something that I kind of blocked out of my memory. I remember you sending me videos before. I don't remember anything that I've watched, and that may be a good thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, it's youtube.com/rockofc. So put that in the show notes if you're interested. Like, I mean, they're pretty rough. Like,
you can put it in the show notes. I don't need to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. As an audio cue, that they're in the show notes. So,
okay. Is it really in the show notes?
By the time this goes up, yes. You're breaking the fourth wall here.
I often break the fourth wall. Fuck the wall. Ain't no walls, motherfucker. Like, ain't no walls. There we go. Show title. Ain't no walls.
But,
so how's your week been?
It's been okay. We got back to normal after the whole storm stuff, so that was good. Going back to work, doing the thing. Today,
Yep.
Well, actually on Saturday, my buddy Adrian texted me out of the blue. Well, we had been talking for the past year or so via text because he's always hated talking on the phone. So, but he was a member of my band. Well, actually, me and him like founded every band I've ever had.
Do you always address him by "Yo, Adrian"?
Sometimes, but he but yeah. So me and him were always like the driving force of every band I've been in, or the two that I was in. So, and we've been talking about trying to do something again, right? And every time I tried to do something with someone else, it was like just didn't work. It's just like me and him, just like when we wrote and played together, we kind of knew what each other wanted to do. So it just was like, it didn't seem like work. When playing with other people, it just seemed like work. So, but anyway, I hadn't heard from him in a few weeks. And then on Saturday, he texted me that he found his sister dead in her apartment on Friday.
Damn.
So, he said that.
Now I kind of slightly regret the whole Yo Adrian thing. Like I kind of I really maybe I should have backed off that a little bit because I remember you saying this, but I didn't remember the name of the person that you said that this happened to. So now I kind of feel a little bit bad about it. You know what I'm saying?
His name's Adrian, so it's not like it's not him that, passed away. So. And, but yeah, I mean, he's gotten that all his life, of course. But, because of, yeah. It's kind of like if your name was, whatever, like if it's something pop culture related, you're going to hear about it.
You see, here's the thing. There's not really a whole lot of Michael references in pop culture, except for old people know that one song. The old black people know that one gospel song, and all old people seem to know this. When I tell them my name is Michael, I get that Michael Row Your Boat Ashore Hallelujah song over and over again because only old people know that song, and I have no idea any of the other words other than Michael Row Your Boat Ashore Hallelujah. I know nothing else of that song, but there's no other Michael references. Is there another Michael reference that's a popular Michael reference?
You ever heard of the band Franz Ferdinand?
Yes.
They have a song called Michael, and it's...
Yeah, but I say popular.
It's a popular song.
They have one popular song, bro.
They're on Rock Band and stuff.
They have one popular song.
Well, it's like, Michael, I love you, or something.
They have one popular song.
Yeah, Take Me Out or whatever.
Yes. Well, do they have more than one? All right, I'm looking it up now. And I'm trying to see if that's the only popular song. I'm trying to see what's the singles.
I know that dun, dun, Take Me Out. Bum, 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 bum. I know that was a popular one.
Yeah, that's the only song that I see. I thought it was another one, but I think I'm wrong. Yep, I think I'm wrong. But that song was used in right? Like Apple commercials and shit.
Probably. A lot of kind of no-name indie bands end up in commercials and stuff, and then people know the song because of the commercials, but they don't really know the band. It's kind of like these one-hit wonders that people are like, oh, they're a one-hit wonder, but actually they have 7 albums. It's just they had one hit, and now they're considered a one-hit wonder, even though they're actually got a following.
Well, the whole part of being a one-hit wonder is the fact that you had one hit. It's not saying that you don't have a lot of music.
Yeah.
But only one song actually blew up.
But it's better to be a one-hit wonder than a two-hit wonder because there's no VH1 specials about two-hit wonders.
Let's think about this for a second. What would be the best two-hit wonder? Is it Oasis?
Oasis had a few.
Bruh, they had 2 hits.
Well, there was Wonderwall, the Champagne and the Supernova one, and there was a couple more, I think.
I know 2 songs that were hits.
Yeah. And those are the 2 Champagne, Supernova, and Wonderwall?
I don't know Champagne Supernova. I'm getting ready to play this now because I don't know. I can't. It's probably a song that I know.
It's the one that's when we were getting high, someday you will find me.
Yeah, not ringing any bells. Not ringing any bells at all. Okay, I'm playing it. So if we use my recording, which we're probably not going to, you're probably going to hear this. But I'm going to play this right now.
Okay.
Okay, I've heard this before. Okay, I know that song. Well, I know three songs because of Rock Band.
Yeah.
Because I bought an Oasis pack. And it had Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, and another song. I cannot think of the other song. But see, here's the thing. I can't play Wonderwall in my house. Like, I absolutely can't play Wonderwall in my house, which sucks because it's still kind of a cool song.
Well, see, the cool thing about songs like that really got played out is that it got played out like in the in the 90s or when radio was prominent, and then now you go back and you're like, actually, this is a good song. Like listening back, that it's not playing every day, every music block. You know what I mean? My favorite thing about that song is how the drums come in. They come in at like this time to where you wouldn't think the drums would come in. It comes in like in the middle of the freaking frame, the measure, which is cool.
Right. I'm gonna say this. Have you heard someone made a mashup of the Macarena with Metallica?
No, I have not heard that.
Bruh, I'm trying to tell you, it's hard to explain, but it's the Macarena with the vocals from, I think it's Master of Puppets.
Oh gosh.
And it actually, like, for some reason, it just kind of works.
That's like the musical version of a Skyrim mod.
Yeah, it is Master of Puppets. And yes, it really stinking works. Like, I don't know why it works, but for some reason it works. And someone actually made that work, which is amazing. I mean, I went down this, it's funny, like your title here, because it was AZ Rock Slide that, if you can't see us, but like we can do like silly little, nicknames on, the thing that we use, and his nickname is AZ Glock Slide and mine's is Glad's Hammer. I figured I followed the leader on this one. It just seems kind of fun. Glad's Hammer.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Yeah. But like that one day, he is the reason why I went down a rabbit hole one day at work, looking at these like mashups and such.
Oh yeah, he was talking about one that he was.
Yeah, he posted. Yeah, he posted one. It was, or I know it started for me with a cross between I Heard It Through the Grapevine and Rats Round and Round, which surprisingly works well. Like, like I only know Round and Round really from Rock Band. Like that's not a song, or Rock Band, Guitar Hero, whichever one it was on. But so I don't really know like that song outside of that. I didn't even realize that I knew like any other song from fucking Rat until like I was watching a clip from like The Golden Child, and like there's a Rat song in like the background of a fucking scene in The Golden Child. Please tell me you've seen The Golden Child. Eddie Murphy?
No.
Oh my god!
I've seen Coming to America. I've seen a lot of them, but I haven't seen that. I've seen Harlem
The Golden
Nights.
Child is like the Golden Child is like the perfect amount of like 80s slop, basically. Like it's not a good movie by any stretch, but it's so like he makes it funny enough to whereas it's not really like the worst movie ever. Like it would get nominated for a bunch of Razzies, but it won't really win because there's typically something that's just worse. Like it's a serviceable movie, but like in the concept of everything, it's really fucking absurd.
Right.
So yeah, what the fuck have we been talking about for a half an hour?
I don't know.
I know this is probably going to be like the silence and stuff is going to be truncated, so it's less than a half an hour. But really, we've been talking a half an hour about absolutely fucking nothing.
Speaking of absolutely nothing, I was speaking of a show about nothing. I've been playing a game that I've played before, but I just started playing it again because I started playing other things, and then I just was like, I need to finish that. It was called Valhalla. It's basically a cyberpunk bartending game, but it's like,
Bro, you've explained this shit like 8 times already. Like, I get it.
but
We may have some new listeners.
yeah,
But like,
that's as far as I wasn't going to go into the mechanics of it.
Every time you talk about it, you explain the game like that. All of a sudden, that's going to make somebody go, "Holy fuck, I should play that." No, it doesn't. Like, no, not at all. Like, no.
Okay, Mister Captain Asshole over here. I was playing this game called Valhalla.
It's Commander Asshole, sir.
It's a cyberpunk bartending game. So, but anyway, there was a character in there, and he kind of looks like the guy from Seinfeld, but not Seinfeld. What is his name? Anyway, Costanza, George.
Sir, I'm black. I don't really know very much about Seinfeld. Like, black.
But Seinfeld's kind of everybody, right? Everybody.
But I'm black, sir. I know Seinfeld.
Well, anyway,
what do I know about Seinfeld? Other than like
there was a character that kind of looked like George Costanza, and then his name was actually Art Vandelay in the game, which is an alter ego that George made for himself when he was trying to sneak into a building. So the game actually had a pretty obscure Seinfeld reference, which I thought was kind of cool.
So basically, you're saying white people made this shit?
Well, it's a Japanese visual novel cyberpunk bartending game.
That somebody white was on that staff. You know what I mean? Like, I have never heard of somebody in Japan be like, "Oh, did you see the new Seinfeld?" Like, I've never heard that. Have you ever heard that? I've never heard that.
So the last time you were in Japan, nobody mentioned Seinfeld?
No, I know people that have lived in Japan. Like, at least like 4 people. I'm cultured, motherfucker.
Speaking of cultured, well, I went to the funeral today, right? And I was wondering, these like Southern kind of good old boy funeral home directors, I was like wondering, what are they feeling right now? Because the attendance of that funeral was the most like eclectic, inclusive bunch of people I've ever seen in my life, which was really cool. But I was just like wondering how that guy's feeling about, there was interracial couples, there was gay couples, lesbian couples, there was transgender people, there was whites, blacks, Asians, just like a whole hodgepodge of different types of people in the same room with these old white guys. And so I was like, I just wish I could like be in their mind right now just to see what they were thinking at that moment.
You know what? Sometimes I wonder that kind of thing too. Because I live in Virginia, and where I live, where I live now, and where I used to live, there's a lot of race mixing.
Yeah,
like a lot of race mixing. And I've always said, like, if you live here and you are a racist and you don't like race mixing, you must be angry all the time. Like, all the time. Like, I can't imagine going through life having to constantly be angry at all the race mixing.
Yeah, because, like, the older I get, like, I forget that was a thing, almost. Like, back in the day. Like,
I can't forget, so...
Yeah, but I do, like, and then all of a sudden I see someone like, oh, I don't... and I'm like, wait, what? Like, you don't think that... Oh, yeah, that was a thing. And it was a thing for everybody. Like, I worked in a group home when, most of the staff were older black ladies. And they were, grew up to where they did not think it was right for to date white people, and like it was like everybody thought that way, and I was like, wow, that's so weird. And then I have to think back when I was younger, and that was like the norm.
Right.
So,
you put your grandfather's voice on again.
yeah.
But here's the thing. All right, so speaking of race mixing, I got to say this really low because it's gonna get me in trouble. My girlfriend has informed me that she doesn't really like me talking about her on the podcast, so I have to say this low.
Okay.
She's in there on the phone, so I think I'm safe, but I'm still gonna talk low. Well, I'm low to like her, but I'm not really low to y'all because I just kind of move closer to the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So, she was on the phone, having fun, playing games with her granddaughter.
Right.
And she was singing that, No More Monkeys Jumping on the Bed song.
Yeah.
We all know that song.
Yeah.
But then, I walk past her and I realize that she's like pointing at her because they're on like Facebook Messenger video thing.
Yeah.
And I realize that she is pointing at a mixed child singing about monkeys jumping on the bed. And I felt very weird about that because she was pointing at her saying no more monkeys jumping on the bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a feeling like, it's weird being black and you have to be aware of your blackness at all times, but I also have to make white people aware of my blackness and I guess the other people's blackness around me. Like, you need to be more aware of your of her blackness at this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? That happened. I was like, you're pointing at a black child, children talking about monkeys and jumping on the bed. Like, this feels weird.
But sometimes you have to look back and be like, just saying it's a song, you know?
No, it's not. Because you're like, okay, so if you let that slide, right, then like, something else happens. You know, like that politician that was on, it was on the news and he was talking about like some sort of race thing. And he was like, that's just a cotton picking, blah, 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 whatever. And it's like, you're talking about black people and you're talking about cotton picking. Like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe like, but like, that guy probably doesn't have a lot of awareness when talking about or to black people and didn't realize that during that conversation, bringing up cotton picking, even though that's the thing people say, it's probably not the best thing you should do right now.
Yeah. That's kind of like one time my grandpa was like burning himself and he was like, oh, that's hot as a Jap. And I was like, it didn't really dawn on me what that meant, when I was little. But then when I grew up, I was like, he was saying it's hot as a Japanese airplane pilot.
Why? What is wrong with people? I know it's all in how we're raised and all that other stuff, but man, that's I don't know.
What if you went in a different way and you said it was hot as a Jap, but you were meaning that it was hot as a Japanese lady that was very sexy.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought you were saying at first, and then you kind of put it in context, and I was kind of like, oh, maybe it's kind of like hot as the whole Bowser thing lately. Have you seen the whole Bowser thing?
Yes.
This is fucking stupid. Like, yo, there are literally people creaming their pants to a female version of Bowser. Like, Bowser has been the bane of a lot of our existences since we were children. All of a sudden, he puts on a crown and become a woman with big breasts. And all of a sudden, people are literally creaming their pants. And then there's like all of these like cosplay chicks dressing up as the character and all this kind of stuff. And people like really getting their rocks off to like, did you realize that like under this crown, that's still a dude? You know what I mean? Like, if I dress up as a woman, I'm still a dude. I mean, I guess the whole trans thing kind of comes into play here.
But do you feel differently?
In this instance, we know for a fact that that's still a guy. He's not trans. He's just wearing a crown that makes him a woman. He's still a dude.
But do you feel differently if you're like on Instagram or whatever, and then you find a lady and you're like, wow, she's cute, and you come to find out that it's not a lady, it's a dude? Do you feel weird about that, or do you like, well, since it looks
Not
like
anymore.
a girl, I'm like, I'm attracted to the looking like a girl, not.
Not anymore. I very much used to feel that way. I like, let's be honest, and I've already had this conversation on the Dream Team. So like, if you want to know like my true like expanded feelings on all of this, you can go to the Dream Team. But like, I used to feel that way. I used to like just say that like I don't really understand all of that. Like, I used to really think that, all of that stuff was gross except for girl on girl, because that's something that I can understand from my own feeble ass feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can understand, how I felt before. How I feel now is like to each his own. Like, you do you. Like, have fun. And, as long as you're not in danger, which I know a lot of these trans people and stuff like that are really in danger, and they're being killed and all this stuff because of really, really fragile male masculinity, because of fragile male masculinity. But like I said, I can understand a woman being attracted to a woman because I'm attracted to a woman, and I understand that. I didn't understand an attraction to a man. I think men are fucking disgusting. Period.
Well, even women, like I've heard more than one say, even when if they're straight, that most women don't even find like penises attractive. It's not something that you look at like how we look at breast or a booty. They're not going to look at a dick and be like, oh, look.
I mean, you white, so like I know, you know, you know what I'm saying. But no, I just don't. I don't find like anything about a man to be attractive. Like, I don't understand why someone would be attracted to me, because I find men to be disgusting, and I find that I'm a man and I'm just as disgusting as the rest of them. I try to pretend I'm not, but I'm really just as disgusting. Like the other day. Okay, it was yesterday. Yesterday, I'm sitting and I know I'm having stomach problems.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody kind of leaves the office and kind of goes into like the little side offices at work. So yeah. I'm like, this is the perfect time and place to fart. And then my coworker comes to show me this video, and he sits right next to me, and I'm smelling the fart, and I'm like, bruh, I know you smell this. And I'm giving him that look like, bruh, I know you smell this right now. And he just sits there and he shows me the video, and then he leaves. And I'm like, that was kind of disgusting. But you know what? I find that to be fucking hilarious. You just came over here and you just sat in my fart longer for this video to happen. And you know what? It makes me kind of feel good about myself that I can be just as disgusting as everyone else.
Yeah. You know it smells bad when you can smell it yourself.
Oh, no. Bruh. I'm having stomach issues. It smelled bad.
Like that, like rotten egg smell?
No, it's worse than rotten eggs. It's bad. Like, brother, I'm having some issues. But the video was actually kind of funny. It's this guy that's like, I don't know where this was. It seemed like it was in like a grasslands of some sort. I'm not gonna say that it looked like Africa or no shit like that, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's in like a grasslands of some sort. This guy that's found some tall grass, and he goes to like take a shit.
Uh-huh.
And these two young boys, one black, one white, they basically sneak up behind him. They use a shovel and let it hit the shovel, and then they move it out of the way and kind of throw it to the side. And then they watch him as he is confused, trying to figure out where that shit he just shit went. And it's fucking hilarious. Like he's like checking his clothes and he's like patting his pockets and shit like he lost his keys. Like he does not know what to do, and he is completely dumbfounded by the fact that he just took a shit and it's not there anymore. See, I'm disgusting. I'm just as disgusting as the rest of them. Like having this man be fucking dumbfounded about not being able to find his own shit is fucking hilarious to me, but it's also quite disgusting.
Yeah.
But no, with the whole thing about the, I don't. If it's a pretty lady, it's a pretty lady at this point. Like I ain't about to, I'm not about to go holler at nobody. Like my relationship is straight.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's straight, but like my relationship is good. I don't need to go find anything else. But if it's a pretty lady, it's a pretty lady. I'll be like, oh, that's a pretty lady, and I keep it moving. Whether it turned out to be something else, that don't matter to me. I just say it's a pretty lady, and I keep it moving.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we already had this several times about the Tom Brady conversation, so like we don't need to rehash that. But like, come on, man. Like I guess we all here now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're here. We're
But Tom Brady would make a terrible looking woman though. That deep cleft in his chin as a woman. No. Like I don't know. Like if my girl got some plastic surgery and she wanted a hero chin, I can't do this no more, dog.
Cleft in the boy wonder.
Yeah, I can't do this no more. Like I just be mad. Like, what do you want next? An Adam's apple? Like, what is we doing right now? Oh, I can't do a hero chin. Like, yeah, we've been talking for like 45 minutes and we have not talked about really anything. Well, you talk about that like that one game.
Yeah.
All right, you want to try to blitz through the rest of this real fast?
Sure, man. Well, I haven't really been playing any Destiny because I mean something like that takes. I have to be like, oh, I'm playing this because you can't pause it. I'm getting into other things or getting into doing stuff, getting into like grinding or doing some sort of event or whatever, and I can't really be like just getting up. I haven't really been playing that, but I haven't really been playing much of anything, man. Other than
I haven't really either. Like I'm being 100% honest with you. Like I played very little of anything, and I still haven't downloaded Spider-Man yet.
Oh well, I did play some Overwatch. Because Overwatch.
Why?
It came with the Humble Bundle, so I got Overwatch on PC, and
that seems like a terrible place for a console dude to want to play.
I quite enjoyed it on PC actually, like a lot more than I did on console. I don't know why. I didn't play.
Did you play mouse and keyboard, or did you play with a controller?
I played mouse and keyboard. Why am I going to go in there with a controller and completely get destroyed? I'm going to get destroyed anyway, but with the other, I'd get completely destroyed. But I wasn't playing like an attacky type character. I played Lucio, and I was really putting in some healing work, man. Like my heals like every time was like 7,000. And how he works, he's basically like a DJ, right? On rollerblades. So you can like wall run and just like be fast, and then you're healing, unlike a character like Mercy, which is like you have a gun and you point it at someone and you heal them. He heals with his music, so he has like a circle of healing. So I'm just like running around, wall running, getting around, just being around teammates and healing all of them while I'm just like. So I'm not even trying to kill anybody. I mean, he does have a gun. It does do some damage, but it's not like a damage type gun. So I'm just like kind of doing cover fire and this healing. And that was like super fun. So I really enjoyed playing Lucio. And that's the only character I really played on it. And I've been playing with our boy Jared, who was on the podcast. Because he has like a group that plays, and they're all from North Carolina. So that was pretty cool. I actually had a really good time.
Raise up, take your shirt off, wave it around your head like a helicopter.
Do I do that now, or what would I do?
No, it's a song. Please tell me you don't know.
Yeah,
you don't know the song.
Yeah, I know it, but I was just making a joke. But But yeah, we did that, and I was wondering, like, because it's the October Humble Bundle, right? I was like, you would think they would have like a Halloween, like a horror game, but I really thought about it. Actually, Overwatch is, because in a few days the Halloween event is going to come up, so I'll probably be playing that quite a bit because I did really enjoy that Halloween event. It's all co-op.
Speaking of that, the Halloween update for Killing Floor will be live for everyone on Tuesday.
Well, what's Tuesday? What's the date?
The 2nd.
Oh, okay. Because the Overwatch one is on the 10th, so it's a week after that. So Killing Floor on this upcoming Tuesday, and then Overwatch on the following Wednesday.
Yeah, so during the Killing Floor event, if you want Hans's gun, you have to do a whole bunch of shit. Like, a whole bunch of shit.
So we'll be getting on some Killing Floor, and anybody that has Overwatch on PC or Humble Bundle, hit me up and we can do some Overwatch and some Killing Floor. Have a bunch of game nights for October.
Hopefully my fucking Xbox will work, because my Xbox is still not connected to my internet.
Well, what you need to do is get Overwatch on PC.
Internet. No.
It's $12.
I don't care about Overwatch at all. Like, there's no part of me. You
didn't care about Killing Floor until you played it, and the October thing is
I don't
co-op.
I don't care about multiplayer at all.
It's co-op. The October thing is co-op.
I don't give a shit. And then, like, once the October thing is gone, I'm right back to fucking multiplayer. No, thank you.
You can play the multiplayer with bots if you really wanted to.
I don't want to play with bots. I don't want to play multiplayer of any kind.
It's not really multiplayer.
Even with its bots, it's still multiplayer.
They don't track your kill-death ratio.
I'm never... Yeah, Brink didn't either.
Yeah, but Brink wasn't good.
Brink was great. What are you talking about?
Overwatch is great. What are you talking about?
People hated on Brink, but I really like Brink. I can't wait till that's backwards compatible.
I like the idea of Brink. I just didn't like the execution.
I mean, that's Brink. Like, you know what I mean? Great idea. Execution was flawed, but under those flaws, there was a good game there.
Yeah.
All right. So what have I played in this past week? Absolutely nothing.
Say it again now. What have you played, Scott? Absolutely nothing.
Okay, I played a little bit of Killing Floor on the PlayStation, and I actually streamed. You actually looked at the stream.
I did.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that I've actually played. I've watched a whole lot of other people play stuff. I've been watching this guy play Banished, and like he was doing like really terrible, and he was like, you know, he would do like sessions where he would record a lot of episodes at one time. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't think he was really paying any attention to all of the comments telling him what he was doing wrong. So like, it got to like episode like 30 or close to 30. And like, he made one big mistake and everybody died. Like, everybody died. Like, he went from having like 500 people to like 27. And it was like, oh, I guess this is a wrap. Like, it went. I mean, like, it went down so far down. It was kind of cool to watch it happen, but it was also like, bruh, you really messed this up. So yeah, I really kind of, I don't know.
Enjoy watching people fail at stuff that you believe that you're good at.
Yes, I do. I am watching that same person fail at Prison Architect now. But he's only on like the second episode of his current series, and he's in the initial setup for his prison. He is making some terrible mistakes. Like making super terrible mistakes. And it is all gonna go really bad for him real soon. And I'm just waiting for that shit to happen. And then I've been watching someone play RimWorld, and he set up a custom scenario for himself to where he's constantly being raided. But like the crazy part is like he's constantly being raided. So like when his people that survive, like they're all in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And like they're never actually getting better. Because by the time it starts looking okay, there's another raid. So now they all have to get the fuck up out of hospital beds and go try to defend the fucking colony again. Like, and he's deciding not to use kill boxes. Well, like the kill box is basically setting up defenses to whereas you don't have to do a whole lot. And if you have a really good kill box, that's really dope. But it also makes the game kind of boring because you're not really surprised by anything. Like no one can actually really like hurt you. And that's what happens to me. Like I design a pretty decent kill box and then like I have like 30 people in my colony and it's just like, well, no one really died.
Right.
So I guess like, like that type of thing. So I'm just watching this and it's just like watching a train wreck and I'm okay with that. And then I've been watching tips and tricks for 2 Point Hospital, but because I'm not really playing a whole bunch of games, I can't. I haven't played any more 2 Point Hospital, so that means like the more my man Stupendous plays, the further he's going to get away from me because I haven't really played anything. I really wish that I had like a super good like a tablet or something where I could just play games at work because like setting up my laptop on my desk is not what's really going to be hot on these streets.
What if 2 Point Hospital was on the Switch?
You know what? I do not wish to buy a Nintendo product of any kind. But like once they started saying that they were putting Diablo and stuff like that on the Switch, I was just like, that might be interesting. See, here's the thing that would make me really interested in the Switch. If they put the Mass Effects on the Switch.
Would it run?
There's no reason why at least the original trilogy will not run.
Well, they got freaking Doom and like Wolfenstein and crap on there. Like those are pretty like.
There's no reason why Andromeda. There's no reason why Andromeda shouldn't work.
Because it barely works on the PS4.
Well, I don't know. I didn't have very many problems on the Xbox. So, but it looks phenomenal on PC. I've been itching to play, and that's why I realized that my damn Xbox wasn't working because I had really wanted to play some Mass Effect, and my internet and my Xbox are like, nope, we are not talking to each other right now. So I'm like, all right, I guess. Like the internet works on everything else except for the fucking Xbox. So yeah. Oh, speaking of the Xbox, and we're talking about using controllers on PC. Blue shared this article about people who use controllers on Steam.
Uh-huh.
Do you know, like, over 40% of all of the controllers used on Steam is still a 360 controller?
I can believe that because they still make wired controllers for the 360.
Yeah.
And they make them like, it's still a 360 controller, but they're like, this is a Windows controller, but it's really just a 360 controller.
Right. I have one of those wireless dongles. I just don't know where it is. I would like to pull out my 360 controller and use it to play Killing Floor. I think that would be fucking dope.
Because I use the Xbox One controller, but you can just plug it in with the regular USB charging cable.
That's what I use right now. But then, like, I have to remember when I go to play my Xbox again, like when it's working, I have to resync it and all that other shit. Like,
speaking of that, I was having some problems with my Xbox controller. Well, the one that I was using on PC is the white one, right? The one that came with the Xbox. And then we also have like
why I got to be white?
Ask Microsoft. It's an S.
Well, I have a S. I have a white console. I just don't have a white controller still.
Oh man, what if Microsoft actually like super racist and that was the reason they made it white, and the S doesn't stand for slim, it stands for supremacy, and you're supporting a white supremacist organization by buying Xbox.
I'm selling my S immediately. Thank you, sir.
But but anyway, my controller like is fully charged, right? I sync it, and then when I'm playing on the one, it like just turns off, just like no warning.
You know, mine does that. Mine does that sometimes, but that's because I think it's because I have that off-brand battery pack.
I have an off-brand battery pack as well.
Yeah, I think it might be the off-brand battery pack because mine definitely does that. I bought the off-brand battery packs where I could get two of them just for like $18.
Yeah, because for one, I got like a charging station, and then I got a battery, and it was by Energizer, and those worked fine. And then I was like, I brought the battery into GameStop. I was like, I want one exactly like this, because it goes with the charging station, and they got it. It looked like but it was a Nyko one, but it looked like the same battery. I figured it was the same
I
thing.
think I think the Nyko ones is the ones I got.
And the Nyko one is actually the one that's turning off. But what's bad is it doesn't fit in the charging station, the Energizer charging station. The little strip that touches the charge part, it's just a little bit lower.
Oh, damn.
And I wouldn't know that because when you look at them separately, they look the same because you're not.
I bought an off-brand charger for my PS3 controllers that are pretty much, paperweights at this point because my PS3 sucks or just kind of went out. And I bought an off-brand charger, and when I put it on, the lights, it's supposed to be red while it's charging, and then it turns green when it's finished. And then I would plug it in and it would be red for a few seconds and just turn green. And I'm like, holy shit, this actually got charged. And then I go to play and it'd be like, no, you need to charge this, dog. And I went back and forth on that shit for a long ass time. And I realized that it acted really funny if you tried to charge both controllers. If you charge one at a time, you were just fine. But if you tried to charge two of them at the same time, nah, B.
Yeah, I have a charge station for the PS4 controllers, and that one works great.
We gotta stop buying off-brand shit, dog.
But the charger for the PS4 one is great. It's like this little station, and you pop them down, and it charges through the bottom thing, not the part with the light. And and it will glow the yellow when it's charging, and then when it's done, it will just turn the yellow turn off. And I haven't had any problems with those. That's been a really great. Because for one, I got it because for some reason my PS4 doesn't like to charge with the USB anymore. I don't know why. But
I think at some point I need to buy another PS4 controller. I don't really want to because the rubber on the thumbsticks is starting to come off, especially my right thumbstick. But even if I get the thumbstick things that are supposed to go over that, it attaches to the rubber. So if the rubber comes off, those things are useless.
Well, the right one's the one that you use the most, get the most wear.
No, I figured it would be the left.
Well, the left one you just kind of push up or down, when the other one you're moving around.
True.
Yeah.
That is very true, sir.
So.
All right. We're a little bit over time, but I want to talk about something that I've been watching.
Okay.
I started watching The Good Place. And I very, 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 very much enjoyed this show.
I've seen an episode here or there.
It is really good. You got to watch it because there's a twist at the end of the first season that's major. And then, the hijinks that ensue after the twist is amazing. It's amazing writing. It's amazing storytelling. The idea
That's the one about the girl who's basically in heaven and she's not supposed to be there?
Yes. She is. She dies. Yeah. She is in heaven and she realizes that her name got mixed up and she is not the person that they think she is.
Right.
And you're matched up with your soulmate, and her soulmate is an ethics professor, and he is helping her try to be a better person because she was kind of a dirtbag in her life on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it pretty much goes from there. And it's mostly centered around the same kind of four people, which I don't know how long they can do this because the fact that it's centered around these four people, mostly around these four people, and then two extras. The guy who's in charge of everything, and then the robot lady. Not a robot. You'll get that if you watch the show. But you have a long running show, and then at some point somebody doesn't want to fucking do it anymore. So how do you do that when you have this established cast that this whole thing centers around? How, what's going to happen in the future when one person doesn't want to do it?
Maybe they send them to hell for some reason.
I mean, it's possible, say, okay, this person went somewhere else, and then
you can't say they died because they're already dead.
Yeah, they're already dead. So it's just, I mean, I really like. I super enjoy the show. Oh, I did watch the Dragon Prince last weekend. Well, I watched it Saturday. The
Yeah,
Dragon Prince is the Dragon Prince is really good, but it's only 9 episodes,
yeah,
and like
yeah. I
we're
need to watch
nostalgic.
that. I heard about that. This guys who did Last Airbender and been really wanting to watch it. The little frog thing looks kind of awesome.
You mean Lizard Appa?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's so many parallels that you can draw between this and The Last Airbender. It's not even funny. I mean, Sokka plays in the show. He's the guy who did the voice of Sokka is basically one of the main trio of characters. Which there's a trio of characters like The Last Airbender. Two of the trio are siblings.
Mm-hmm.
One of this trio has the power to manipulate wind. Yeah. I mean, it's more than just the power to manipulate wind, but that is an aspect of these characters. Yeah,
Unstoppable is just another type of stoppable.
right. Oh, that's that. My only gripe comes from the person who says that and her brother. That's my only gripe about the show so far.
Hmm.
Their characters, I don't really understand. But I don't want to spoil it for you, but their characters I don't really understand because there's a lot of like breakdowns of interpersonal relationships that you're just like, wait, weren't y'all just friends a few minutes ago? You know what I mean? Like, weren't y'all just friends and now all of a sudden y'all hate each other? It's like you was my homie, like you was my homie an hour ago, and now now that you're not around, I'm making fun of you, like you not my homeboy. So there's a lot of that, and that's where my gripes come from. But all in all, it's a good start to a show. I wish there was more episodes, but then again, I know how they do this. Hopefully they don't do the Voltron thing where they just release like 6 episodes and be like, "Yeah, we'll come back and finish the season in a few months. You'll be all right." Even though the next season of Voltron is the last.
Well, Castlevania should be coming back.
Well, that was only like 4 episodes, right?
Yeah.
So I hope that turns out to be something. I mean, because like I said, once I finally watched it, I was like, this is actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, we
Yeah, you can go ahead and go and we can wrap this up.
Yeah. I all caught up on My Hero Academia. Well, all caught up as on the dub because for that I watched the dub. There's some certain anime that I want to watch the English and certain that's for one modern anime. The dubs are like a lot better than they used to be. Used to be it was like just phoned in crap, but now they do a pretty good job.
It used to be like Kung Fu flicks.
Yeah, that's how it used to be. So yeah, I mean the stigma's still there. Like subs are better than dubs, but right now it's kind of like they're kind of equal. It's whatever you want. And plus it's animated, so it's not like I'm watching Forrest Gump and then there's I'm listening to some guy talking Spanish, but it's not Tom Hanks. Like that it's a drawn character. It's not like he has a voice. His voice could be anything. Right. But
right.
So yeah, but the English version of that, the guy who does the voice of All Might, I believe that he also did the voice of Vegeta. But yeah, that's been good, and I went back and started.
But does he sound like Vegeta?
No.
This Sokka sounds like Sokka.
Right.
Just believe that. It's hard to be like, look, he's still Sokka. Like he still acts like Sokka, and never mind.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we did that, and we watched. I watched the Ancient Magnus's Bride, because I did stop watching that when I started My Hero Academia because I had so much of that to get caught up on. So once I was caught up on that, I was like, well, I can go back and finish some of the other ones that I hadn't finished that I liked. So what? Because I was drinking it.
Really?
Yeah. I did pour it in a cup. I filled it up. I didn't want to get up.
Yep, right in the middle of everything. Yep.
But yeah, my Ancient Magnus's Bride is really good.
No, we need to discuss why you got all the tea. Why'd you bring the whole picture of tea down there? And you ain't even had no cup at first.
I did, right here.
You just got bitched at about tea.
So yeah, man, shout out to Adrian because he's one of my best friends from a long time. And him and his family going through a lot right now. It's it's not like it sucks when you lose grandpa or auntie or whatnot when they're 85, but losing someone that's younger than you is like a totally different thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Prayers, good feelings. However you feel about it, prayers, good feelings, spirit fingers, everything that you can think of, no matter how you feel about religion or non-religion. Just like I hope that there's some way that him and his family can find some sort of comfort or at least some sort of peace soon.
Yeah. Yep. It's always.
It's always a hard situation to deal with.
Yeah.
And it's even harder when it's somebody young. Like you said, when it's somebody older, like you have to know that at some point Papa is not gonna make it no more.
Right.
But like when it's your sister, that's a completely different situation. Because of the unexpected nature of it.
Right.
So I understand.
Got some shouties, man.
Man, shout out to the people. It's I don't know what to say. Like I don't want to try to bring like any light after that. I will say I've been listening to a podcast, and it is an audio drama, and it's called Wolverine: The Long Night. Apparently, it was a thing between Marvel and Stitcher. So if you're a Stitcher person, like, most of the people who listen to this show, if you're a Stitcher person, you should be able, if you have, it's like some sort of like Stitcher Prime or something like that. That's like free. I mean, that you got to pay for, but this show is like ad free. Because there's a lot of ads. Like in the version that I got that's on like the feed, I guess this has already happened over there. And then they waited until it was done and they started putting it on other you can put it in a different kind of podcatcher. But there are a ton of ads. Like there's ads at the beginning, there's ads at the end, and there's ads right smack in the middle. They will stop the action to put some ads on your ass and then keep on moving. But yeah. So check that out. I mean, I like audio dramas. Like, did you ever listen to We're Alive? It seems like a situation like We're Alive. We're Alive is great. Like, if you're looking for something to listen to, We're Alive is fucking awesome. But again, there's a lot of ads, and probably a lot of the ads are for stuff that may or may not be a thing anymore because We're Alive is kind of old.
Right.
But We're Alive is about a zombie apocalypse, about some survivors in the zombie apocalypse.
Oh yeah, I have heard about that. The podcast that I listened to that was like that was a one called The Truth, but it wasn't like it was kind of each episode is a different story.
Okay.
So yeah, I haven't listened to like all of it, but I did listen to an episode here or there. It's pretty good as well. So.
Yeah, the Wolverine so far I've listened. They've only had like a few episodes on the other podcatchers. There hasn't been a lot of Wolverine. There's been a lot of talking about people and a lot of talking about Wolverine, but you haven't seen Wolverine. Like, in your mind's eye, like basically you get like glimpses of Wolverine and like people talking about seeing him doing things. But not necessarily like a lot of Wolverine himself talking. So I'm really interested to it. There's an investigation. Some people are looking for Wolverine. They're investigating in an Alaska town. And so you're basically following the investigators. And I really would like to know what some of this stuff is from his perspective. Maybe you get that later, but so far, it's only been like 3 or 4 episodes, so you haven't gotten a lot of that yet. But I hope that's soon.
Right.
But definitely look up We're Alive. I think you will enjoy it. It's really good acting. I will say, if you have on headphones while you're listening to it, some of the sound effects are jarring because, it's actually like We're Alive was originally intended to be a TV show. And then they just recorded it as an audio drama when they couldn't get the TV show made. So like the sound effects and stuff like that are really good, but the gunshots are stinking loud.
Oh, okay.
So just be careful when you got on headphones, because sometimes those gunshots are really, really loud. All right, all right, I'm finished. Do your shouties, wrap up the show.
I got my shouties. I'm done.
Okay,
we out of here.
All right, so this Scarcasm. I'm Scarfinger. That's for the homie Chase. I'm Scarfinger. This Scarcasm. We're out of here. Yeah, peace out to the Warrior Show.
Later.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm telling you, Whoa. All right, I ain't gonna talk.